and we're very thankful for our sponsors. And went and saw. I was just telling you, I went and saw Thor, and it is fantastic. Okay, it is just.
Don't tell me.
It is good. It is good. It is good. I liked it, and it was very entertaining. Actually, it's one of those movies that like you watch. And I know you're not a real big movie buff, but I'm trying to change that. And
you are trying to.
I am. I'm working on that one.
Yes.
And I'm the influencer, the movie influencer.
I'm the influencer.
I'm the influencer. But it is actually one of those movies that you're sitting there and you wouldn't mind if it keeps on going for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? It's not one of those that you hurry.
Well, I'm to the Black Widow. So
yeah.
I watched Black Widow. I don't remember what's after Black Widow, but
and you love Black Widow.
I did, but I cried throughout the entire movie. You're
a different kind of moviegoer.
I
know it is. I know.
I did. I cried throughout the entire movie.
I love that. You were in it though.
Yeah, and so I've not recovered emotionally.
Well, I was thinking that,
that's been a couple of weeks and I've not recovered emotionally. So
that is great.
That's and over 4th of July weekend, Kinley's like, "Can we watch a new Marvel movie?" And I'm like, "No,
I gotta get. I gotta get.
My heart is still broken.
I got the feels still.
Yeah,
until you get done with the feels, But yeah, I understand. It was good. It was one of my favorite. I've watched it.
It was a good movie.
I am embarrassed at how many times I've seen that. Yeah,
very sad.
Very very sad. So I was watching on Thor when it goes, and there's a song that goes and then
Mermaid?
No, and then he takes his hammer and he pounds it, and I can't stop that in my head. And that song is stuck in my head.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. And then he hits the hammer. Anyway, I won't. Okay, I'll stop.
Don't tell me, I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, hammer time. Yeah. All right, love.
After Black Widow is supposed to be Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You'll love Spider-Man.
That's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but you'll love Spider-Man.
I actually had already seen Doctor Strange, so I guess I'm up to Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
So
you just wait. Yeah,
I can't watch the new Thor movie until I watch Thor Ragnarok.
Well, it's the Led Zeppelin song, and it.
I do like some Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, but do you not know the song? Am I not close enough to it that you can recognize it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No,
not close enough.
Maybe it might not 45.
I'm not. And then I can't think of the words.
That's hilarious.
And then he hits the hammer. And then he does the hammer.
Is it like a radio? What is it?
No, it's the song goes. It's like a battle cry.
Yeah, but what's he hitting? With the hammer?
Oh gosh, he's hitting the ground. Thor is shooting it out there.
Is that in Ragnarok or the new one?
I'm trying to remember. All I've got is the song stuck in my head, and it won't go out.
That's hilarious.
Come on,
I can't. Is it the immigrant song?
Let me hear it. Now, come on, that's got to sound like something.
I don't know.
In my head, it's sounding like it, is it not? Have you ever thought?
I don't know what you're
something sounded so good in your head, and then when it goes out, it's like not. No. Wait.
Well, that's a TikTok ad.
Oh, I was going to say.
No, you're wrong.
That wasn't it.
They do these ads. I don't have a good Wi-Fi.
Well, but I do like commercials. That is commercials, kind of the thing that I like. Autumn, you know what I mean? Kind of keeps the lights on.
They do.
So they do. So I have no trouble with commercials. Okay.
It's not letting me go.
Okay.
Today is July 14th. You know that. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am. I am very much. It's going to be that all day long, so they tell me.
It's July 14th. It's a nice day today. No, I don't think this is it. I think we could go down a rabbit hole.
I know.
Just move
I'm going to have to. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. This is actually International No Binary People's Day. Binary, I guess, they bind you on. You know what I mean? Like maybe something you've committed to. Right? Is that what I'm thinking?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm thinking.
Know. That's my new favorite line.
I have no idea.
I don't
I have
know.
No idea. I know.
The less you know, the less people expect of you.
Someone is actually, I think I'm, okay, hang on. Okay.
Somebody's messaging
I know. They're like, what is she doing?
They're like,
here?
Becky, you are a mess.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you're really putting this, you're putting this to, you're doing bad to this. Okay.
We are professionals.
We are. We are. In our heads, we are for sure. National Mac and Cheese Day. Okay. So
I do love good macaroni.
I do
too.
And it's when it's good, it is good. Okay. So do you like the little shell noodles or like the little macaroni
noodles? Give me the macaroni noodles.
No,
real macaroni noodles.
Yeah.
And my thing is, like macaroni and cheese is so flexible. Like you can add anything with it, and it's still good.
Yeah.
I see that people are now putting macaroni and cheese, and it's probably not just now happening, but on barbecue nachos.
Oh, I think it would be. Yeah,
It's delicious. I've done it.
I would think it would be. I mean, why would it not be?
There is not anything macaroni and cheese does not go with.
I have to agree. I agree.
I mean, people even put like, I'm not a seafood person, but like the lobster and shrimp.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I would eat it, and I don't even like it.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know, and I was amazed. And I'm not judging anyone. It's just different, different way. A lot of people actually, this is a meal. They'll make macaroni and cheese a meal.
Oh yeah, I've done that for my kids.
Have you? I have never. I'm not judging that. I'm not saying it's wrong.
The way you do that, you puree some of those orange and yellow vegetables in with it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then they don't know.
And I just was reading with orange vegetables are supposed to be really good for you. They're really on a kick now. Orange vegetables.
Yeah, great for your eyesight.
Yeah,
they have like that carotene.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. And your skin. I mean, we talked about carrots.
You cook a little bit of the like carrots.
That's a great idea.
Orange or yellow bell peppers, maybe a little bit of squash, and you just puree it really good, like in a food processor. And then you mix it in with your cheese.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. And
they'll know.
No, they really
Remember
don't.
on TikTok, they'll know. Oh, no, they won't.
And then if you're like, oh, that's a little yellow or a little orange, it needs to be a little bit more yellow.
Yeah.
Like if you use your real cheese, not the processed stuff, which I don't judge because I use it.
Yeah.
Put a little mustard in it.
Mustard.
Yeah, put a little mustard in it, gives it the yellow color back.
Love that. I'm serious. No, I'm all for it. Anything. No, I have to agree. I think it's just, and I love it with like barbecue. So why would it not be?
Yeah. And sometimes like that's one of the first things my kids learn how to make is like macaroni and cheese. And so kids cook sometimes like dinner.
I love that. And
usually it's frozen pizza or macaroni and cheese. So but that's one of the first things they learn.
Well, you know what? That's called survival.
They always like, I know the vegetables work because they're always like, why doesn't mine taste like yours? Forgot the secret ingredient. Can't tell you what it is yet.
Now, the first time, first time I saw this was we were doing a tailgate up at IU, and they took bread and they put macaroni and cheese on it and then grilled macaroni and cheese sandwich. Oh,
I don't hate it.
It looked beautiful, and it was like they put a lot of macaroni and cheese on it.
It's a lot of carbs, but I'm just not sure that I'd hate it.
Well, it was at a ball game. It's probably on a weekend. There's no calories on the weekend, so
there you go.
So I just thought that was brilliant, and I've seen other people do it since, but that was the first time I've ever seen that done, and they look delicious.
I love a good baked macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
like after you cook it and then you throw it in the oven and bake it.
Look at you, yeah. National Tape Measure Day. My tape measure always breaks. You pull it out too far, or it bends, like when it snaps.
You're doing it wrong.
Oh, I'm always doing it wrong. Oh, that's fun fact. Do you know how many times you could say that to me?
Fun fact about tape measures.
Okay.
That's what slap bracelets are. The slap bracelets?
Yes.
Yeah, if you take the cloth off of the slap bracelet, it's a tape measure.
No.
Yeah.
How'd you learn that?
Well, I'm sure I saw it somewhere.
And okay, let me go a little further with that. You can take your slap bracelet, put it on your backpack, and you can actually hold your Mickey Mouse ears if you go to Disney. If you don't want to wear your ears all day long, you can use a slap bracelet.
There you go.
But I did not know this was really a tape measure.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh,
one of those random things I read. That's
a little fun fact. And they stopped making slap bracelets because people were slapping too hard, and it was not social. No, I mean, I guess there was a little bit of a trouble.
Well, have you ever been hit with the tape measure? It hurts. Or when you're measuring,
you know how many times I've been, I was going to say, I probably have scars from the tape measure.
Yeah, we use a tape measure all the time. I'm also a huge fan of using tape measure for teaching fractions.
Look at you. That's wonderful.
You should. You should do it.
Oh, I love that.
You get your 16ths, your 8s, quarters, halves. Do it all.
Love that. Love that.
I'm a fan of tape measures. We have about 30 of them.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, because we always lose them.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
30 is probably an exaggeration.
There's a little bitty one that I was supposed to keep in my purse, and I changed purses and I don't have it in there anymore. But Greg put it in there, and he said I couldn't bring home anything bigger than, and he measured it that wouldn't go through our door. So, he put a little mark.
Smart.
He put a mark on the tape measure and said you can't put anything bigger. You can't bring home anything bigger than this to go through our front door.
You know, I would dare say that Mr. White is a wise man.
Yeah.
That's pretty ingenious. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So when I had that purse and I would be somewhere and you see something that like, oh my God, gotta have it. And if it didn't measure, then I couldn't get it.
That's brilliant.
So, yeah.
That's when you say, Greg, we need one of those double doors.
Double doors.
Like we have it. So Justin, he does furniture and he's been doing that for I don't know, longer than we've been married. And so that's why, like, it's funny because as we were remodeling this house and things, like that was in the back of his mind the whole time. Like we have to make sure that like our living room door is a double door so that it is easier to bring in furniture.
Yes, it's true.
It's like these are things that he has thought of that I never would have. I'm just like, yeah, it's a pretty door. He's like, no, it's not, because you've not moved furniture through that door.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
it's not.
Yeah.
Hey, well, touche.
Well, you know what? Yeah, after you try to get, you try to shove a couch or something in a door that does not want to go in. You know what I mean?
It's like that meme I saw where somebody's trying to fit a mattress in your car. It doesn't work, honey.
Well, that's where they put them on top.
No, this lady was trying to shove it in. It's like it doesn't work.
Autumn, we need to go somewhere. You and I, because you watch me. I can stuff a car. No, I have there's superpowers that you have.
You're not getting a mattress in the back of a Volvo.
I just want to say I do have superpowers, and I am pretty good at this. Okay, you just have to stand back and just let me. Yeah.
This is why Greg gave you a tape measure.
This is why I have the tape measure. This is why. Yeah.
We call that optimism.
There we go.
And it's a great trait. But Justin has been very good at teaching me that optimism and realism, two different things.
Yeah.
Completely different things. They don't go together.
I don't know that. I don't know that I don't know that. Yeah. I would probably rock Justin's world. He would probably be like,
he'd just be like, no. Becky.
No.
No.
And I'm accustomed to that word. No. Okay. That is a word that I know. Okay. All right. This is also Shark Awareness Day, Donna, and all of the.
I feel like it's been Shark Week forever.
Ever.
How many Shark Weeks are there?
Well, actually, Shark Week has not officially started yet. It starts at the end of this month. I know.
I feel like we have 10 Shark Weeks.
Yes. And you know how I feel about sharks, my shark encounter.
Yes.
And I don't know that I feel like I've already told it not too long ago, so I hate to tell it all the time, but did have a encounter with two sharks actually, and not pleasant. But I have a daughter that was in Florida and she was kayaking and there was a shark. And she FaceTimed me and I was like, I don't know what it is. Get out of the water now. You know what I mean?
Well, let me FaceTime my mom.
Yeah, I know. FaceTime. Look, Mom, there's a shark in the water. I know. And I'm like, so then I'm going over things to do. Punch
it in the eye.
That's what poke their eyes out. I was like, poke their eyes out. You know what I mean? And anyway, so she stayed FaceTime with me until this was the other day. I mean, a week ago. But she FaceTimed me anyway, and she stayed with it until she got to shore. But I'm like, or the shark ended up going away. I guess it heard my voice and it was like, oh God, her again. Oh my goodness. Yes. That corn-fed Indiana, we don't want that. I don't know. But I was like, FaceTiming me and there's a shark, in a kayak,
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I kind of thought. And I don't like it. I try to put I use that fear tactic in my girls, but
I want you to be very.
I do. I know. I don't want you to have, those life, you see those bumper stickers, life adventures, life travels. No, stay safe. You know what I mean? No,
I'm boring.
That's right.
Listen, safe people don't have fun stories.
There we go. And I love that. Yes, I don't care. Yeah, that's okay. As a mom, moms are like that, right?
I know.
Yeah. Well, don't be all you can be. Just
settle for mediocre.
That's
kids.
right. It's okay.
Just be mediocre.
Yeah. This is mom's advice. Yeah, travel the world. No.
See, my motto is, well, if you're gonna die doing something.
Oh, I've heard that one before. No.
Love.
Not when it comes to your kids, though. We don't say that. No. All right. This is also bank account bonus month.
Does that mean all banks need to give us bonuses?
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that just be nice if they just said, just because, Like, even if they put like a $5 or $10
I'm gonna
bonus,
call my bank
just
right
because.
now.
What if it was just like just because?
I'm gonna call and be
Wouldn't that
like,
be-
hey, it's bank bonus day.
That's
Where's
right.
my bonus?
Could we get a just because?
That'd be nice.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome. All right, Autumn Scott Hall. We do have some things coming up. First of all, there is a silver alert has been declared. The Evansville Police Department is investigating the disappearance of Stephen Glaser, age 71 years old. He's a white male, 6 feet tall, 1 inches, weighs approximately 240 pounds, white hair with blue eyes. Stephen is missing from Evansville, Indiana, which is 172 miles south west of Indianapolis, but was seen on Wednesday, July the 12th at 10:30 a.m. He is believed to be in extreme danger and may require medical assistance. So if you have any information on this, please contact the Evansville Police Department at 812-436-7979 or call 911. I do want to say that these work. These silver alert work. I hate them. It's always sad when you put one out there, but they work. And the whole state, everybody working together.
Yeah. Somebody sees something.
Yes. And see something, say something.
And I'm the type, man, if I'm missing something, I don't care how frivolous you think it is, call.
I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly right. So
there's nothing scarier than the thought of missing a loved one.
Yes, exactly. So, you see something, say something, and definitely keep everybody, up to par. And somebody, and it might be just somebody you just see at the grocery or something, but call, or if you forget the number, just call 911 and report that. And it's cool because all of our police agencies in the whole state can connect to each other.
Yes.
The
they have a nice network.
The networking is above and beyond. So we just, when you hear something like that, you always want to react on that.
Keep your eyes out.
Definitely. So, also, Autumn, talking about, we got several things to talk about today, and I do want to get to celebrity home loans, but I was actually listening to a TikTok, and it was talking about money, and, teaching kids about, and I know you were a teacher, from the penny to the nickel to the dime to the quarter to the dollar, and then, $5 and on and on. And I wonder, as far as money and stuff like that, and you deal with a lot of people coming in and having issues,
they don't have a hard concept of what it's kind of like, when kids first learn everything's a penny. Like, it doesn't matter what they're picking up, everything's a penny. Sometimes I feel like even some adults are kind of like that, because right now with everything being so, I don't know where you were going with that, but I'm jumping in.
No, I want you to.
With everything being so electronic, people don't actually hold money anymore.
Right.
And I took the kids to a pool yesterday, and we went to the concession stand.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Love this.
I don't know. It's just where we're at. But that's only cash there. So you have these teenagers who they have to learn to count money. And my total was $2.50. And so I gave her a $5 and I said, hold on, I'm going to give you 50 cents. And she said, oh no, I'll just give you change. I said, or I can give you 50 cents and you can give me $3 back. Because really, I don't want to carry a lot of change.
Yeah.
I'm at the pool with,
Right.
And you could tell I visibly confused her.
Yeah.
That my bill is $2.50. I'm going to give you $5.50. Just give me $3 bills back. I had to explain that to her.
Yeah.
And I think we have lost a very valuable, and I'm not blaming her because she, she was fine.
No. Yeah.
But we've lost that valuable skill of this is how money works.
Right. Well, and I'll give you an example. So I was somewhere and I returned something, but I returned it for another product, and the product was more expensive. So I owed her $5 something, and she went to give me a $5 bill and change. She thought she owed me. And I was like, no. And the ticket prices were right there.
Right.
But I was like, no, I owe you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought that too. And she was younger. I just wonder on that. You know what I mean?
We lose that. That's something when I remember, sorry, when I managed, the coffee shop eons ago. And even when I would train people when I worked at the bowling alley, that was something, even then, even early 2000s, teaching how to count back change. How, because I would always tell them, do not rely on this machine.
Right.
Because you'd get people, they just want to type it in, oh, here's what my change. Now, don't rely on that.
Yeah.
People like to have their change counted back to them. And even teaching that, like, just they couldn't even wrap their head around it.
Right.
And that, I think we've lost that skill.
Well, and I think in business, what you just said, counting the money back, always the best thing to do.
But you use cards now, and it's just a swipe, and the bank balances it for me. And I hear that all the time. I don't have to balance my checkbook. The bank balances it for me. And it's like, and the bank makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had debits that have come out twice.
Oh, wow.
I've had, not that's the bank's fault.
But I have had that too.
I know like, or there's something that's been pending. Like, my hair salon is one, and it's not their fault. It's the way the system is. But if I use my card, the initial charge pins for almost 4 days in my account.
Oh, wow.
Even when it's already cleared. So I'm double charged there for about 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't balance your checkbook, then you're not going to know, hey, this is an issue. This is, so that's something we've lost that.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, trying to make sure that we don't. It's almost like we talked about, like your penmanship in your hand, handwriting.
Yes.
These are skills that are trying to go away, and I just don't want them to go away.
Right. Well, and now even, people are like, well, how are you going to buy a mortgage? Well, now a lot of people sign, like half of my package is electronic signature now. The only thing people have to sign in person, if they want, are the notarized docs. And that's like 7 pages, 8 pages.
So like if someone lives in, 5 states over, they can purchase a house without even being there from you? I mean, get the loan from you? Possibly?
Yeah, but you do still have a notary. So, like, if they do that, and I've had that we call them melloways. Like, if I have a buyer.
Melloways. Oh my gosh, I love this term. Hang on, a melloway.
A melloway. Like mel, you mel it, snail mel.
I know.
So
a melloway.
Melloway. So
I've never heard that. See, I'm in a different. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So if we have buyers or sellers, let's say we have somebody from Texas that's moving to Indiana. You verify everything. The title company then will find because title companies have title insurance, and that's like nationwide. So whether it's Chicago Title or Stewart Title or whatever. So what they will do is they will find a notary that's under their umbrella, and then they go to that notary, usually at a title company or something like that. Okay. So yeah, somebody is there watching you sign, but the majority of it can all be done online.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you think about it, you have places like these online, I'm not going to say any names, but you have online mortgage companies that they never meet their people.
Oh, wow.
At all.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
Yeah. But they don't.
I don't recommend it.
No, I don't think so. I think that to have, I like the one-on-one conversation, and I like to explain. And every individual that walks through your door, Autumn, is a different individual.
Yes, with a different scenario.
Yeah. No two people are the same.
No. And that's why my job's never boring.
No, for sure.
Stressful, but not boring.
Yeah. So anybody, I do want to, maybe for those newcomers or first timers listening to Coffee Club, they come in and they're thinking about possibly buying a home, and we're going to see where they're at with this. This is the first foundation. This is the foundation you lay.
Yes. It's getting to know you and what works for you.
Yeah.
Because what works for you, what works for you is not going to work for everybody.
Right.
And that's, one of the things that I do, and one of the things that I thought, we talked about, USDA loans today. My job is to sit with you, evaluate your situation, because very rarely are you stuck with this is the only product you can do. There's a lot of products out there. So my job is to talk to you, get to know you, and decide, okay, well, here are your options. This is the product that is best for you, and here's why. Because at the end of the day, I don't have a lot of people that come in and say, oh, well, I want a 15-year conventional loan fix, I want to, hey, get me an FHA loan. Hey, I'd like to do a VA, very rarely do I have a customer that has done enough research and has come in and said, this is exactly what I want.
Right. Yeah. No.
And if you do, hey, that's fine. If that's what you want, that's what I'll do. That's, if it's legal and I can do it, and it, you can't come get a VA loan if you're not a veteran. Like, sorry about that, but
right. Yeah.
Okay. And so that is my job to say, hey, here's really the best situation that we have, and here's why.
Well, I think I would rather come in with not saying anything and just let you figure out which works best for me. And also how
Just
much
figure me out.
No, really, you know, right? No, I mean, you figure it out. You know what I mean? You're the professional. Figure out what's going to work best for my situation, my financial situation, and then tell me what works best, and also tell me what I can afford.
Yeah. Well,
where what the budget is. I mean, and
well,
you might say, Becky, go back. You're
yeah. Well, and
you're not there today.
That's part of it, because we do have people that come in. Like, I do have people that come in, well, what can I afford? Well, I can't just give you that answer off the top of my head. Like,
Mhm.
I can tell you what my ratios say,
Mm-hmm.
but really, until you take into consideration your budget and your lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really tell you that. Because at the end of the day, if you're spending $1,000 a month eating out and going to movies and shopping, that's not stuff that I see. Like, that's not on your credit bureau. That's not stuff I actually see. So when I'm looking at the hard numbers, if I say, okay, well, according to your income and according to the things on your credit bureau, you can afford a $2,500 a month house payment, but you're spending $1,000 to $1,500 every month blowing,
Mm-hmm.
then no, you really can't, because then you're going to be upside down. Because realistically, at the end of the day, very few people will change their lifestyles just because they buy a house. Like, I will never, I always cringe a little bit when people are like, oh, well, we just won't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't believe you. Like,
well, you've seen
I don't.
it. Yeah.
And
right,
that's
right.
why I say, well, I tell you what, if that's really how you feel, then you show that to me for 6 months that you cannot do that.
Mm-hmm.
And put that money in a bank account so I have hard proof that you're no longer doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will talk.
Right.
Because, yeah, I could do it, and technically I could do everything legally, and you'd be like, I would be fine. But if at the end of the day I know you're probably not going to do it, and then you're going to be upside down, and you're going to lose your house, it's not worth it.
Right.
It's just not worth it to me, and it's not worth it to you.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like, I think of this like, okay, like, let's say you're going to go, I'm going to use it for example, and I'm going out there. Okay.
I'm fine. I keep reaching for my coffee, and it's empty.
Stay with me, Autumn. Like a fish bowl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to, when you go to buy a fish, you want to buy the fish right off, but you should buy the fish bowl, get it set up, get the pump working, get all of the gravel, get everything, your foundation ready.
Yeah.
And then you go buy the fish.
Right. Because the fish, what's it going to do? Sit in its plastic bag.
And I guess where I'm going with that is like, okay, it's so much fun going maybe and looking for houses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the fish. You want to go ahead and start looking for the houses, but until you have your fish bowl ready, you shouldn't be looking at the houses.
Right.
Did you see where I'm going with this?
Yes. Yeah,
I mean,
and that's part of it. That's why if somebody is renting, because right now a lot of times we'll get people that they're renting and their house payment is actually less.
Mm-hmm.
When it's all said and done, your house payment is less than your rent. And those are the people that I'm like, okay, like, that's fine, because I'm actually saving you money,
mm-hmm.
and you're used to spending that.
Right.
But I do a lot with first-time home buyers. I love my first-time home buyers. Like, it's fun to watch them grow, and
I love that.
know, like, I love that. But that's the side of it that, okay, you're not just getting a house payment. You're not just getting a mortgage payment. You will also be getting your utility payments. So your electric, your water, gas if you have it, sewer, and trash if you're in city limits.
And taxes.
Then you have, well, your house payment usually includes your taxes and insurance. So that's in there with it. But yes, you have that too. Then you have to think about your groceries. And then, by the way, you probably should be setting something aside every month a little bit for a repair account, because pipes leak, water heaters go out, air conditioners need, cleaned and treated, windows break. Like, so you are adulting as a whole, because even if you rent, when something happens, you call your landlord and they fix that.
Yeah.
When you own, you fix that. And so those are the conversations that we have, that, okay, yeah, you're not just getting a mortgage payment.
Right.
So when we're talking about a payment, that, and I have sat with people, here's hey, look, here's a budget sheet. You need to think about all these. Are you going to
Mhm.
do, what about your cell phone bill? What about your Hulu? What about your whatever?
Yeah.
And then let's talk about all of that. And then we'll talk about a house payment and what you can afford.
That's good. And you have got a beautiful like spreadsheet on budgeting.
Yes.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. It's a nice sheet.
Yeah. Autumn, you're very good on that.
And
that's
so sometimes
really good.
people are like, oh, I never even thought of that. Well, I did.
Autumn did. Well, you're the professional.
Autumn
did. Well,
and I didn't create that. I can't take credit for it. I found it.
Yeah, but you found it and you found a good one. So
yeah,
I'll give you credit. But it's true because a lot of times people don't realize you don't have that other person coming in to do your repairs. You're welcome to.
You're either going to learn or you're going to pay.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I've had people that've been like, "Oh my gosh, it's so expensive." Well, because when you're hiring a professional. And this is in any aspect of life. And I believe this 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm going to include myself in that. You're paying for the experience that those people have. Like, I've been doing this now for almost 15 years. You're paying for my 15 years of knowledge and experience, not your one-time purchase.
No, exactly.
And that's the same thing. If you're hiring a tradesman to come and fix your windows or an HVAC heating and air guy to come fix your heating and air, you're paying for all of their experience and their knowledge that they have. And really, at the end of the day, if they're in and out in 15, 20 minutes, that's great.
Yeah.
It's that experience behind them that allows them to fix your problem in 15 or 20 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that people don't put all that into account.
No.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think in anything that you want to be, you want to be that person that that actually relies on someone else, because I don't think any one of us, honestly, Autumn, not to take away from what you do, but I don't think anyone wants to learn all that you've got that knowledge. And that's where I hope everyone can understand, and I hope that they see on the expertise of this, and also helping out and saving money. And like one loan, if you go one route, another loan might be a lot better for your situation.
Yeah. And I've done that, like I pulled the information, here in Washington County, we are considered a rural county. And so I have a lot of, like I said, I do a lot with first time home buyers, and I always kind of chuckle when people are like, oh, well, I want a first time home buyer loan. Well, that's fine. But really, you do, and I say this with there are some programs and some grants that are specifically for first time home buyers. Like, that is a legitimate thing. But really, at the end of the day, there are no first time home buyer loans. Like, so I always get a chuckle when they're like, well, I'm a first time home buyer, don't I get anything? Well, no, we don't pay you to buy a home. Like, I mean, that's not, you're not being paid to buy a home. Like, but, and there are people that will disagree with me on this, but buying a home is a privilege. It's not a right. You have a right to housing. You have a right to a safe, secured housing. But you don't have a right to be a homeowner. And if you're not responsible enough to own and maintain, and I say that to maintain your home and property, then you don't need a home. You need to rent.
Right.
But that being said, I do have people who call for first-time homes. And a lot of times those first-time, and I say that in quotation marks, home loans are usually like an FHA loan. For the simple fact, people equivalent low or no down payments with first-time home buyers. And so part of the stigma that we have really fought with, to buy a home, you don't have to have 20% down. It used to be you have to have 20% down, get a conventional mortgage. And a lot of your portfolio banks will still do that. And I don't know an 18-year-old who usually has 20% down ready to buy a home.
Right.
So a lot of times our first-time homebuyer programs are that FHA or that USDA, those government loans that they require little down payments. Now, I always tell people little down payment or no down payment does not mean no money out of pocket. Like, that is a difference. You need to keep that in mind. You will still be paying for inspections if you choose to have them. You will still be paying for an appraisal, which I will require. You will still be paying for moving expenses, and I strongly encourage you to clean and get your house ready before you start moving your stuff into it. That costs money too.
Mm-hmm.
So, those things that, okay, maybe you're not putting that down per se on your loan amount, but you do still need to have money. And so that is a very big differentiation that we make and we let people know. But one of the best, I feel like, first-time home buyer programs, or even you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer for it, and that's also a misconception, but is our USDA loan. And that's also known as a rural development loan. That is only available in certain counties and in certain rural areas. And I know we've kind of touched on that before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all of Washington County, all of Harrison County, all of Orange County, most of Lawrence County are all USDA eligible.
What about Scott County and Jackson County?
All of Scott County, and I believe all of Jackson County as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Clark and Floyd, there are certain parts. So in Clark County, if you are looking like in the Borden area, you are fine. Even some Sellersburg and Charlestown areas are fine.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Floyd County, usually around the Georgetown area, Lanesville, that is all usually okay. You start getting into New Albany, Jeffersonville, Clarksville, you're not eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not us being like, oh, we don't like it. It's those cities, those areas they have too large of a population.
Yeah.
That USDA says no.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of a USDA loan is to encourage home ownership in rural areas. Right. their whole point. So they're not going to take you and
right.
approve an area down in Clarksville and New Albany where it's already congested.
Right. Well, that's really interesting. Yes. I don't know that I've.
And even like as you get further up north, like Indianapolis, Franklin, those are not, but some of those outskirted areas
mm-hmm.
like Shelbyville, Plainsfield, those areas you can even sometimes still
That's cool.
do.
That's awesome.
And there's a map. Like if you are interested in a property, you can give us an address and we can type in the address and it pinpoints exactly. Yes, this is eligible. No, this is not. So it's not even me having to dig. I literally type up an address and it tells me yes or no.
Okay.
So that's nice. But what has been really interesting, and actually when I was looking up these numbers to verify myself, it actually is higher than I thought. So the household income limits used to be I remember them being like $68,000. That was, because it is based on your household income. So not only is it specific for specific areas, but it is also specific based on an income genre.
Okay.
So that's why, honestly, a lot of times people will group it in that first-time home buyers, because if you have too much household income, you're not eligible. Because then the thought is, well, if you're making that much, you should be able to have a down payment. So for a family up to 4, as long as your household income is $103,500 or less, you are fine. Which really in this county is pretty good. I mean, really, it's pretty good. Now, if you bump up, you have more than 4 in your household, it bumps you up to $136,600. Now, the interesting thing about USDA is it is household income. It is not so like if you and Greg were to get a home, let's say, and you already own a home, so you'd either have to sell your home or, whatever. But the both of you, since right now you guys had 6 girls, right? So you're in a household of 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to then take account to everybody's income. Even though none of your girls are on the loan, if they're living at home and they have a job at Walmart or they have a job at JC, their income has to be counted.
Okay.
So it is as a whole, an income as a whole cannot be over that income limit. So that is where USDA is different, because like FHA, VA, conventional, it's only the person on the loan. That's all that we count. Well, USDA says, no, we want everybody's income.
Mm-hmm. So what's the advantage of the USDA? What would be
You do not have to have a down payment.
You don't have to have a down payment.
So it is truly 100% loan. So if you're buying a house for 170, your loan amount is 170. You're not bringing 3% down. You're not bringing 10% down. The other advantage of USDA is it has a very low monthly mortgage insurance factor. So every loan, unless you have 20% down, or on conventional, you can't pay an upfront mortgage insurance, you have monthly mortgage insurance. That is the cost of not having 20%. It's part of being a high risk. So
how much does that usually run? Like, are we talking?
It's a certain factor. So like, for example, on conventional loans, you have to get a quote because it bases it on the program, your credit score, your down payment. So I've seen it anywhere from 2,600 up to 1.2%, 1.3%. Actually, I saw one up over 2 because the score, like it bases it on the factors of the loan. FHA is set. It's a 0.85 monthly fee. Unless you have 10% down, then it drops to 80. USDA is 35. It's 0.35. So it is the lowest monthly factor. And so that is a benefit because it is cheaper. Mm-hmm. It is lower. So your house payment is cheaper overall. USDA is also the only loan that, let's say you have a house, you make an offer for $150 and it appraises for $153. USDA is the only one that will allow you to utilize that equity to cover your closing costs. So let's say, hey, you offered $150, but you're paying your own closing costs. Well, it comes in at $153. You can actually say, hey, can I borrow the full $153? And that's $3,000 less that I have to bring to closing. And they allow you to do that. That is the only program that allows you to do that. So that's kind of a benefit. So it's kind of nice. It's a very nice loan to help do that. Rates are usually very well. They do have a maximum loan amount though, which a lot of people don't realize that mortgages like conventional and FHA and VA and USDA, there are maximum limits that they will loan on a property. So if you have a house that's $500,000, you're probably going to have to go into another world of jumbo loans. So USDA will do a maximum loan amount of $336,500. So if you are looking at a house for $350,000, you have two options. You either put enough of a down payment to get you to that $336,000, or you go with a different program. So
very interesting. So let's go back. Okay, let me roll back years ago. You just walk in and come in Celebrity Home Loans and you just want a loan.
Yeah, I hate when people do that. I just want a loan. Okay.
But that's what we.
Yes.
But now, Autumn, on our defense, that's what we know. Well,
what kind of loan?
Well,
and that's my question.
And that's where I say, I don't know. You tell me what's best.
Well, you have to watch though, because I've had people that have come in, and it's in my name, Celebrity Home Loans. But I've had people that have come in wanting personal loans, car loans,
right,
and it's like, yeah, I don't do any of that.
Yeah, no, but for your home. But I think that's, to me, if I were you, I'm not, and I don't want to speak for you, but I would think that would be like, okay, so I want to come in and I want to get a home loan, but I'm not for sure which would be best for me.
That's when we say,
isn't that nice? When someone's like that, because then they don't have their mind. If somebody's been told one certain kind of loan, and they'll go this route, but that there's another route that's better.
But some of that is, you just have to read personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is where really it comes in handy to know. Because there are some people that do that, and no matter what I say, they're not changing their mind.
Right, and that's fine.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's where I do tell people, like I have one guy, he wanted to do a cash out refinance, build a garage. I'm looking at it, I'm running the numbers, and I'm like, listen, I can do everything you want me to do. Because he was very specific. This is what I want. This is the rate I want. This is the monthly payment I want. This is the loan term he had done his research. He knew what he wanted.
Right.
And he was right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was looking at it, I'm like, listen, I can do everything you want to do. down to the teeth. But I can't do it in good conscience because I know you can go do this and it will be a better situation for you. And I have to let you know, I will do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this is the route you want to take,
right.
I will do this. But I can't do it and lay my head down at night and feel like I'm doing a good thing for you.
Right.
Unless I at least tell you this other option.
Mm-hmm.
And if after you see that, you want to continue, we'll continue, and then I have a clear conscience.
Right.
I told you this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and he said, well, let me think about it because I never considered that option. And I ended up losing a deal out of it. So that's the part that it's like, I hate losing deals, but at the same time,
yeah.
I have to have a clear conscience.
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
And that's something that if people do come in and they're like, this is what I want, and I can tell there's no change in your mind, I will still say, listen, it sounds like you're really set on this. You've done your research. I get it. Like, I appreciate that. Here's what I'm thinking. And in due diligence, I need to at least give you this option. Now, you can take it for what it's worth. You can throw it away. You can, but I have to at least tell you this option just so I can sleep at night.
Right. Sure.
And then at the end of the day, it's your choice. I can't make that choice for you. I'm not making your payments.
Right.
I'm not paying your bills. This is what I feel like would be best. But at the end of the day, it's your choice at the end of the day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and that's true. But I think that like having a person that will, I would rather like kind of have this discussion with someone.
Well,
like,
and
I would come to you.
People do.
Yeah. Because I think that would be good because I'm going to learn what would work best for me. And also I'm asking an expert here, which you are, and you're good at what you do. No, really, you are.
That's a little.
No, you really are good at what you do.
No, words like expert.
Well, you are very good at what you do. Professional, expert, all of these, all of the above, and you are that. And that's where I always feel like, because it's so scary for that person walking in, you looking for that home loan, and also that's your biggest purchase you'll ever make.
It's one of them, yeah.
Or usually, yeah. And so that's very nervous for a lot of people. And I really want people to feel that confident, and taking time with someone like that is so important, in explaining stuff and kind of.
And that's where it gets hard with the tech. I know we were talking about earlier, but with technology now, I'm realizing, and this is something I complain about because I feel like technology is a necessary evil, but we lose that. And so I have people that will sign things, and like, for example, our loan estimates, sometimes those aren't accurate 100% because I don't have a homeowner's insurance quote yet. I don't know the exact day of closing for per diem and escrow. So like, those are over disclosed because, and I tell people this at the table, you're happy when I tell you prepare for X amount and it's lower. Sure. Like, you like when it's not as much as I tell you.
Right.
You're going to be really mad if I don't do worst case scenario and then you're bringing $1,000 more than you were planning. Like, I'd rather you plan on 4,000 and bring 2 than plan on 2 and have to bring 4. Like, but I have people who, they don't even look at that. They do, let's say they do a USDA loan. They're like, oh, that's no money down. I have to bring you money. Well, no, you don't have a down payment. Doesn't mean you don't have any money. And so we miss that as people are e-signing, and they're not, and I hate it, but the fact of the matter is they don't always read what they're signing, which I think is ridiculous.
We not learned this.
I always get concerned when I see somebody's already signed disclosures and I never got a phone call about questions.
Yeah.
And like, that's the other thing. I don't send my own disclosure. That goes through a disclosure department so that it can go through compliance to make sure that we are disclosing everything correctly.
Right.
And I promise you, some things are over disclosed. I know they are. And when I don't get a phone call, it's like, did you even read it?
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, then I have people sometimes that they are very particular and they want it down to a T. And it's like, until I have a set closing date, I cannot give it to you to a T because your interest, you get charged per diem to the end of the month. And whether I close on the 7th or the 20th, that's a big difference. I can't give you an exact until I'm cleared to close with a closing date. And I mean, this is something I'm very big on. I don't schedule closings until I'm in a final approval or a clear close status, because things happen.
This is like a t-shirt. I do not.
I don't. And I just got a phone call the other day. Well, the realtor scheduled this for the 18th. I need to know if that's going to happen. How long have you done business with me? Did I call and schedule it? Then it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I get that. There is a place where you want to schedule those and have those locked in, but at the end of the day, and each company is different, so I really tread lightly on this. But at the end of the day, most of my title company affiliates know if I do not call and schedule it, I don't guarantee it. Because when I call and schedule a closing myself, it is I'm in final approval or I'm in clear to close status. I'm closing the loan. I'm not scheduling it when I order my title work just because the purchase agreement says that. Because things happen. And any realtor and any title company and any lender who has been doing this for any amount of time knows that things happen. And that's why I actually did one earlier this year that the loan officer said, it came to me from a different company, said, this has never happened. I've never lost a loan. I've never been able not to close a loan. Then I thought, well, how long have you been doing business? 2 weeks?
Sure.
Because I've lost a lot of loans. And that's not something that, that's not something that you like to brag about or you like to, but I tell people, until we are at the closing table and you have signed and you have the keys, life happens.
Yes, and I think that's the way to do it. I personally think it's 100%, because if something did change or something didn't go through or something, I mean, it's better to know that. And then to have that.
Now, that being said, I don't usually go through and send a pre-approval letter and give you I don't normally send those unless we're good. I don't want to waste my time or yours or the realtors, or, I don't like people being mad at me when something doesn't happen. But sometimes things happen and maybe you didn't actually tell me things. And one of the biggest things that we run into that now, and we adjust on the fly, like we have to learn. But one of the big things that I've had to adjust in the last 2 years, full time is not 40 hours to people anymore. And so when somebody, when I'm doing an application and I say, hey, are you full time? Oh yeah, I'm full time. Okay, great. So you're $20 by 40 hours a week. Like I had to learn to ask, is your full time 40 hours? Because now a lot of people who are full time are 32 hours.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
When they say we're full time, it's 32, 33 hours a week. That has been one of my biggest challenges and my biggest shifts in the last 2 years since COVID, because full time is not 40 hours anymore. And
is that something that is that like a blanket on everybody?
No, but there are certain companies that they consider you full time, and 40 hours is not full time.
Oh, wow. So
but
32, they consider you full time. Okay.
Because of benefits, insurance, things like that. If you work 32 hours, you're considered full time and you can get benefits. Well, I miss that memo.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I miss that. And I'm used to anything medical field. I automatically would say, okay, is your full time 36 or 40? Because a lot of times medical fields are 12 hours. That has been the biggest challenge. And there were a couple deals that I lost because at the end of the day, well, you told me for full time and I used 40 hours. Your full time is not 40 hours, and now I don't have enough income.
Oh, wow.
And that stinks when it's, hey, I didn't know to ask you. I assumed, and what they say about assuming, but yes, now we do have an issue and I can't finish because I don't have enough income.
Right.
And that stinks, but those are the lessons that you don't forget.
And
so now it's like, okay, how many hours a week do you work? It's not, are you full time anymore?
Right.
And that, those are the things that we adjust and we have to change. And
that's a big difference. I did not know that.
Yeah, because if you think about 8 hours a week is a lot. By the time you add it up over, maybe you have 1 week that you didn't do 8 hours, you're 32 instead of 40. Okay. But when that's 52 weeks,
absolutely.
that's a huge chunk.
Sure.
The other thing is people are getting raises, like because of how the market is. Like we have a couple companies that you got 4 raises in a year. Well, I can't use your newest raise. I've got average.
Right.
So it's just those things that you don't think about that we learn as we go, because things change. I can't do business the same now that I did 10 years ago.
No.
And that's why when you have these loan officers that jump in and out, and even realtors that they're in it when the market's good, and when the market's bad, they get out and then they get back in it when it's good. It's like it's hard because they want to do things the way they did 20 years ago and you can't.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest thing.
Growing and changing and being a part and actually in the grind every day.
You have to.
Yes, exactly right. All right, I think I've got it. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can. Okay, hang on.
You've been looking up this.
Yes, I have. Hang on, here comes my cry.
You're pretty close.
Okay.
Okay, what's the song? What is it?
It's what is the name of it? Let's see here. Hang on. Ragnarok.
So it's in the Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But
And
what's the name of the song?
Immigrant Song.
That's the one I had up on my
did
phone.
you? Okay.
Yeah. But I just didn't get there. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. You found
That's stuck in my head. Now you know my battle cry.
You know what else is stuck in your head?
I know.
Your Coffee Club sponsors: Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans LLC, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Pearly Wealth Management. Thank you so much for your sponsorship.
I think I'm going to make that the song when you do that. I think like I'm going to have when you're doing you're doing that.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then you rain down thunder. Autumn Scott Hall.
That's great. Look at this. Bam.
There.
Somebody just sent me the